Now, things are getting good.
He just slapped his butt.
He closed the hatch.
Closed his little power pack.
And he's just like,
how embarrassing.
You weren't supposed to see that.
Adventure time. Come on, grab your friends. We'll go to very distant lands.
Alright, we're back with some more Adventure Time. Pirates of the Enchiridion. Where is my party? Oh, okay. I guess party disbanded. Because I'm just like, why is it just Finn?
Just Finn.
Everybody's going, ooh,
Or just,
this is a nice shrine. It's just like, there's work to be done.
There's just bebopping around.
Ain't gonna be lighting, these torches aren't gonna be lighting themselves.
Yeah, I know we've said it before, but I'm gonna say it again. Mm-hmm. Now that we're a decent chunk, almost halfway through watching
We're more than
Adventure
halfway.
Time.
We have 3 episodes after this.
For season 5.
Oh, I thought you meant the game. Okay, I'm sorry.
No.
Continue.
No, like watching the show. Mm-hmm. How many missed opportunities they had for the game.
Yeah.
So with characters, with locations, with scenarios and bad guys and good guys, and there's a lot of missed opportunity. Mm-hmm. That's what I was gonna say whenever we were starting.
I got you. It's
you're
okay.
Like,
Sorry.
This game can feel kind of stupid sometimes, and I'm like, well, yeah, there's a lot of missed opportunities.
Yeah, it's not just the missed opportunities, but it's just like when you think of an RPG, it could be so much better.
Yeah.
And either through like time restraints or being like thrown, hey, make a game in 6 weeks. Fuck.
Yeah.
Instead of like taking the time to make a full-fledged, like imagine Adventure Time that's as long as like Trials of Mana.
Yeah.
And it has as many characters and locations as Trials of Mana and bosses from the show and all that.
Yeah.
Like it could be something really cool, but they just settled for, just satiate their hunger until the final season shows.
Yeah.
And that's basically what this game boils down to. If you're a fan and you're just like, yay, more Adventure Time. That's cool,
and
but
I think that's what it was designed
it could be
for.
So much more.
It's literally designed that you can play as Finn going on an adventure. Mm-hmm. But the actual thought process and quality, I feel like could definitely be improved on.
Hey, it's Fern.
Seriously, dude, how'd you turn into such a jerk?
Ready for another boss battle?
Yeah.
Of course it matters.
There's only 2 boss battles left.
To me, it's kind of like seeing what I could have turned into. And I don't like it. Caused this flood? Not exactly, but I helped. Who did you help? Yeah, they already pretty much donked up all of Ooh. How come they sent you here to mess with the Fire Kingdom? To distract you. They don't want you around until...
But yeah, I think it's interesting that they chose Fern.
Well, you're here.
He's just the lackey. There's someone else pulling the strings.
Nah, man, I gotta go. But I know how much you like
Have we seen them in the show yet?
so
No.
have a present for you.
I don't know if this thing's in the show, but this is our next boss. This is the Fire Giant.
Yes, they are in the show.
Bimo just fainted.
I fucking love BMO.
Oh no!
But yes, the fire giants are in the show, but not in a capacity like this.
I got you. But nope, this is our 3rd boss, a battle with the Fire Giant. He's basically a golem.
Golem.
Yep. He's a big bad. No, the big bad, I've only seen in this game, but apparently they play a vital role in the last few seasons of the show.
Okay.
And like, that's all I know. I've never seen them in the show.
No, I'm trying to think of who it could be.
So I'm just like, huh. But like, I'm sure when you see them in the game, you're like, yeah. That character.
I was going to say, so far there hasn't been anything in here that hasn't been in the game. Mm-hmm. Some of them I didn't remember, but were there.
Okay, so this Fire Giant has ridiculous defense. See, I just used my super, and it has no effect.
Nothing.
So there's something we have to utilize so that we can actually expose his weakness. Because right now I'm just like, okay, that didn't work. What if this works?
Is he weak to ice because he's fire?
Like, he's taking a little bit of damage, but not too awful much. It's not an element. I think it's an element at first. But, like, I'm using all my supers, which is a shame because I should have just used one super, be like, oh, that's not working, and then just wait. But also, BMO's super is more of a boost. Yay! Everybody got some pie. And pie is lovely.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, so that did donk all. Ooh, and he just really took the hit on BMO there. 800 damage. Yikes. Alright, let's try Smash of Dark Darkness. Maybe we can put him to sleep.
BMO's backstory is sweet. I think you'll like it.
See, he's just increasing all of his defenses. So I'm doing a little bit of damage, but it's saying weak. So it's like, it's basically like in Pokemon when you use an ability and it's just like, but it's not very effective.
Yeah.
That's kind of your cue to be like, hey, don't do that again. So I'm scanning. He's immune to a lot of things, but he can be freezed.
He can get boggled.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I can boggle him and I can freeze him. Alright, so we need to find out which of our abilities can release that status ailment on the boss.
Big slap attack.
Maybe I can boggle him by keep on spinning around.
Is that how boggle works? Oh, well, Jake
I got boggled. That's the thing about Jake's spinning attack. There's like a chance that you can get dizzy, but there's also a chance that the enemy can get dizzy.
Okay.
It's like, whoop, who's it gonna affect? And there we go. Resist boggled, which is a whoops. Because it's like, I'm already boggled. It didn't cure boggle. It resisted boggle.
That was my elbow.
Once I figure it out, though, the boss battle does go a lot quicker. Uh-oh.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Ooh.
Overheated. Oh, boy. All right, what do we got here?
Overheated, boggled. You're Jake whenever his puppies were born and he didn't sleep for several days.
All right, so that took care of the overheat, but I still got to boggle him. Let's try Snowball Launcher. Let's see how effective that is. Immune? But I thought you could be frozen.
Well, I guess
You lied to me?
I guess snowballs isn't the same.
No? Alright, let's see what else we got. Throw in some batteries to charge ourselves up. Alright. How about... go Crazy Cyclone. Let's boggle you. Yeah, 1600 HP.
Oof. Okay, he got...
There we go. Boggled and weak. Now, if I'm not mistaken...
That's what I was thinking.
Once he's
Finn's
boggled...
ice sword.
Nope. Cool. Okay, yes, that worked. So now his back is exposed.
So you have to take out his power pack.
Yep.
That was tasty.
Now, let's see how much damage we can really do. As Zeus says in Hercules, now watch your old man work!
He reminds me of one of those Weeble Wobbles, but they don't fall down.
Oh, he's gonna fall down. You just wait.
Do you remember those?
Yep, I do.
Weeble Wobble, but they won't fall down.
Alright, we're charging up for a big one. Jake, unleash the cyclone. Wild whirlwind.
Well, that's kind of what my back feels like.
Nice, there we go. That's damage. Come on back here, Jake. Do a little more. There we go. So that's basically how you beat him. You gotta either boggle him or stun him, and then you can fuse him.
turn around.
So he turns around, and then you can do the big damage. And that's basically how the boss works. So it's kind of a puzzle boss.
Yeah.
It's like, nothing's really happening
You
here.
have to try a few things out.
And then once you figure it out, it's just like, ah, that's the ticket. And then you lay the smack down.
Okay.
Because you're like, now, things are getting good.
He just slapped his butt.
He closed the hatch.
Closed his little power pack.
And he's just
Oh,
like,
how embarrassing.
you weren't supposed to see that. So yeah, rinse and repeat. How do you feel about puzzle bosses? Like, are you fine with them, or do you prefer like an actual challenge to where like this is the boss at its best, you have to be at your best? Or do you like it's like if you solve the puzzle of the boss, you could easily defeat it?
So I don't know that I've had a puzzle boss yet.
A majority of Link's Awakening bosses are puzzle bosses.
Okay.
What am I supposed to
I think
do?
it's, I think it's a hit or a miss because I either get really, really frustrated because I can't figure it out and I just keep dying.
Whereas I
So I
believe
think
most of Ys's bosses are the latter, with the
Yeah.
exception of the Okeanos. He was
Yeah.
a puzzle boss because there was a certain way you could daze him.
Right. I don't know. I think I prefer the second one.
It's
I
a
like-
challenge, and you have to be.
I like puzzles, but I would prefer puzzles in a less intense moment.
Okay.
Like, I would rather be able to do the puzzle to get to the boss
Okay.
rather
okay.
than the boss itself.
be the puzzle. Okay.
But I think if it's like one or two in a game just to like spice it up a little, I think is fine.
Okay.
But as of right now, at my level of gaming experience, I think I prefer the second way.
Okay. No, that's fine.
But that may change once I learn, that the shining red ball on the tip of the worm is
Yep.
what you have to aim for.
All right. I'll give you a very helpful tip.
If it
It's
sparkles.
obvious for a lot of people, but like it might not be for you, and that's okay. If it has a giant eye,
You
shoot
hit
it.
the eye. If it sparkles, you should probably touch it.
If you build it, they will come.
Yeah, pretty much.
But no, this is a puzzle boss, and we basically got him.
Okay.
I'm not worried. Everybody's at full health. I'm curing their status ailments one by one. I'm boosting them up.
Here, like, everyone's at full health. Marceline's like, fuck me, I guess.
She's close to full health. I mean, that's not bad. I still got all these items that I can experiment with. Let's show...
That hit the spot.
It looks like Marceline has 5 o'clock shadow. Has I mentioned this?
I don't think you have.
Due to, like, the shading, sometimes it looks like Marceline has 5 o'clock shadow.
Is it like the one, like, queen character from Klonoa, where I was like, she got a full beard.
Yup. It's basically like the head priestess of Klonoa 2. Ooh, I love your memories for like some of the games that we don't talk about nearly as much.
It's weird things that'll stick out to me. But I think it's because I really enjoyed watching Klonoa.
I really enjoyed the Klonoa games too. I
like the story.
hope those remakes did enough to get a legit Klonoa 3.
Yeah.
If the creators want to make a Klonoa 3. Because I know like they are very story-driven games that aren't just... They're not just focused on, okay, what's the gimmick or what's the mechanic, or hey, let's just make a sequel.
Right.
He's very focused on telling a narrative.
Right.
So if he has a story to tell, that's cool.
yeah.
But if he doesn't,
Hope he gets to tell
we
it.
have to accept that as his fan base.
Right.
Because that's the same with the guy that made the Earthbound games. People want an official English remake of Mother 3, which is the third game in the trilogy, but he stated time and again,
Like, he doesn't...
that's the end.
Yeah.
He's like, if anyone wants to make a Mother 4, they can. I am all open for a fan game. I don't care. Because, like,
Yeah.
it's a love letter to American culture. And, like, when fans return that love, that's what makes him happy. Not all creators are like that, but the
Right.
Earthbound creator has said that multiple times. It's just like, if you want to make, like, fan work of this, that's cool. I finished my story.
Yeah.
And there we
He
go.
finished his story, too. Look at that.
The fire giant is gone.
Do a little jig, Jake.
Do a little river dance. Level up. Ah, so close. Ha-cha-cha-cha, ha-cha-cha-cha, ha-cha-da-dee-cha-da-dee-cha.
My ice pack crackles.
Okay. I was like, what's happening there?
Yay.
Than I thought. What's left of the fire will go out unless we can superheat the core and steam off all this water.
What do we need to do?
So we're about to meet another character that I haven't met in the show yet.
Okay.
Torcho, my father's niece. But ever since she was punished for trying to overthrow my father, she's been hiding out at the royal retreat on Firebreak Island.
We're on it, princess.
We have to find Torcho.
Stay cool. I mean,
Torcho.
Yeah, Flame Princess claims she is the Fire King's niece.
I feel like I might have to see it because it could just be like a minor character.
Okay. I believe she's towards the end of this episode. We shall find out. Marceline, Take your 5 o'clock shadow and open this chest.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, she's in the show.
Cool.
Briefly, but...
But enough.
All aboard!
Alright, so now we have to go to Firebreak Island, which is a secluded area off the coast of the Fire Kingdom.
Okay.
Anybody remember where we parked the boat?
So for whatever reason, Torcho is a hermit character. Living in seclusion. But only she knows the way of cooling the main core. So that's our objective. And coming up is a very nasty glitch.
Oh, it's the same one that I was fighting with.
It's the same mechanic, it's the same glitch, just in a different area.
Yeah. I never made it to this.
No, you were close to the first Fern boss fight. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. All right, so the first thing we got to do is find our port, get back on our ship, and sail on to the Firebreak Island. Now, I'm curious if now that the boss is doomed... Oh, shit. Nope. They still hate us.
It was a firefight!
It was a firefight.
Oh my god, that is my favorite part of that whole movie.
They used ammonia. It's fucking useless.
His character cracks me up.
Willem Dafoe is such like a talent.
Where,
Like, he owns every role he's ever done.
Yeah. That one I just love. He like comes grooving in with his little Walkman.
Did you like the sequel? Because we have yet to watch
I've
the
never
sequel.
seen it.
Okay, you've never seen the sequel.
I don't know if it's streaming anywhere. I would totally be up to see it. But
Okay.
I don't know that I would want to buy it
Okay.
because I love the first one a lot.
Yeah, the first one's like one of your favorite movies of
Yeah.
all time. It's in your trifecta.
Yes.
It's Constantine, Fight Club, and Boondock Saints.
Yes.
Okay.
Those are the movies that I can watch on repeat.
And I've seen all 3 of those movies now. Like, I've seen them off and on, but never like all the way through.
Well, I know like you didn't finish watching Constantine. So like when we pulled it, I was like, ooh, guess who's going to finish watching Constantine?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you really feel about it. I know it's not really your thing.
My
it's
feeling,
not-
now that like we've had this conversation, my feeling towards Constantine is quite similar to your feeling towards Tarzan.
Yeah.
Whereas there's,
It's fine, but it's just not your
I didn't have
an emotional connection
a
to
Prince
it,
of Egypt
Yeah.
response.
which is totally fair.
Yeah. Like, it's fine. I love the actor that plays the devil. I
Yeah.
love, like, some of the set pieces. I like Shia LaBeouf's character. Like,
Yeah. I think that, like, the little details of Constantine, the movie, are what make me love it so much. The fact that they, like, talk about the Spear of Destiny, that they talk about Longinus, that they, you know, when Shia LaBeouf's character dies, he doesn't have, like, this perfectly articulated, long, drawn-out death speech. No, he's literally dying from internal bleeding. Like, he just utters out what he can, and then he dies. Like, I really love those little details. I like the little details of, like, the devil being like, what? You want a medal? Like, the fuck you want here? Like,
I
So-
think my biggest problem is when I see the cartoons and stuff like that. Not even the show. As much as you like the show, even the show, I'm just like, neat.
Yeah.
It's looking at the trailers I've seen of the cartoon where
They
I'm
look
just
way
like,
better.
that looks like the Constantine that I
Oh,
want to
yeah.
be into.
that, like, because it was like that with the show. The show was designed and modeled after the comics. So, because Constantine's character, played by Keanu Reeves, is not really the way that he was designed.
I believe that, and also I recall Constantine was in the early 2000s.
Yes.
This was before both the Nolan Batman movies, I believe.
Yes.
And also the Marvel MCU.
Yes.
So it was that weird period where we were getting comic book movies,
But
they
not, like,
weren't
good-
made by people that loved the source material.
Right.
It was just like,
Exactly.
we have the rights to this. Let's
and then
make
it was
a movie.
like, oh, you know who's really popular right now? Keanu Reeves.
Yes.
It didn't matter that like that wasn't the best role for him.
So like, it seems like a decent self-contained story.
Like, it's a very good
shackled by
story.
its true potential.
But I definitely wouldn't recommend that story to comic book fans.
Yeah. Because, like, I don't know much about the Constantine of the comics or
Oh
of
my God,
the DC.
it's so good.
But
He is such a sassy
that
asshole.
character intrigues me.
Yeah.
He just does. It's the same way as, like, Hellboy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know which... If Hellboy's, like, DC... I want to say Hellboy's DC.
I don't know.
I don't think it's Marvel.
Yeah, I
It
know
could always
it's-
be another one. Like, there could be,
I
like,
don't know if
a
it's
smaller company that Hellboy's a part of.
Yeah.
Sorry if I just pissed off a lot of purists.
That
But, Hellboy's one were like, I liked the first one, and I haven't watched any more, but I like the character of Hellboy.
I'm looking it up.
No problem. We're just taking on yet another legion of fire guards.
Oh, that's actually one of the most commonly asked questions. So let's see. Hellboy, American comic strip superhero created by writer and artist Mike Mignola.
Mm-hmm.
The character first appeared in San Diego Comic-Con Comics #2, published by Dark Horse Comics.
Oh, wow. Okay, so it is a third party. It's a different
Yeah,
company.
so it's not DC or Marvel, but I'm sure that, like,
Well, it's the same as... Oh, shit. What's his name? Alan Moore? Is that the one who wrote The Watchmen, The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen? Because, like, he
I don't remember
has
his
his own
name.
contained universe.
yeah,
And he also hates the films based off his comics.
yeah,
But it is neither linked to DC
or
nor Marvel. It is
But
its
there
own
are
thing.
there are similarities in these where I feel like people that really love Hellboy
Mm-hmm.
tend to like DC Comics more.
Oh, okay.
Because the overall feeling and the vibe of Hellboy is very similar to the comics of DC.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas people that like The Watchmen tend to lean a little more towards Marvel.
Yeah.
Because the characters and the vibe and the storylines are all very similar.
Let's find some treasure.
We're at this part now. Oh, here we go. Oh, God. I'll probably resume this thought, or I won't. But I'm scouting out because I'm getting ready to stealthily. Right? No. I jumped the gun. We're not there yet. For some reason, I saw the lookout point and I thought it was just like, oh, here it is. The camera's panning out to be like, all right, this is the path you have to take. Don't get caught.
Don't fuck it up.
And the game's like, yeah, don't get caught. I can't actually program correctly, so if you get caught, the whole game kind of like falls apart. So like, don't get caught. That's the kind of stuff that makes me sweat when like people are testing my game.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
Does it work?
Don't do that. It'll kill the whole thing. It shouldn't be there to begin with, but I'm just like, please work, please work, please work, please work. Like people will, I'll watch people let's play my games, and there's only a couple. I'm not that big, but I've had a handful of people like let's play my games, and I watch the video, and they're just like, I wonder what happens if I try this. I'm just like, fuck, I didn't consider what would happen if they tried that. I'm just like, let's find out.
Don't do it. Like,
And like, I already know it's pre-recorded, so like whatever his reaction is, I just start to sweat as I'm looking. I'm just like, well, we're about to find out what that does. We're about to find out together. I'm just like, oh fuck, oh fuck.
Well, I
It makes
feel
me
like
look
that would be
amateur
a
as fuck.
really
Oh shit, oh god, oh fuck.
a really difficult thing to do is going through every single scenario that could possibly happen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's how programming works, but in my brain it does.
Snack.
You're just supposed to play test enough to where like if you can get through everything, your players should be fine. You have to really consider like how your players are going to approach it, and above all else, make sure they don't break the game.
Yeah.
if it does, like, it's not the end of the world, but it does leave a bad image.
Right.
It's just like, ooh, is this like a one-time thing, or is this going to be a habit?
Right.
Do they not know? Do they not care?
Yeah.
Like, you don't... When you're playing a game, like, I don't know the developer's intent when they were playing this. I don't know if they were just like, easy paycheck.
Right.
Or if they were just like,
if they were
"Whew,
like
I'm doing
big
the
fans
best I
of the
can."
game trying to
this
find
could have
a-
been the best they could do. It could have been a team that's just like, yeah, we know how to make a game. All right, well, we're going to test the waters with this Adventure Time game.
Yeah.
It's going to be ported on all these consoles. Can you do that? And it's just like, yeah. And then you actually go on the project and you're just like, how the fuck do you get this thing to work properly?
Yeah.
How do you do a stealth segment? Because, like, you'll follow tutorials on, like, how to make something. And I'll be like, got it. And you'll follow step by step. And I'll be like, all right, that's how it looks like. What the fuck is going on with mine?
Right.
It's funny when you're in the testing period, but when you're like, I know what this is supposed to do, and the player then plays your game, and it doesn't do that, like Jamonius himself had moments where it's just like, how the fuck did he do that?
Yeah. Like, what did you do?
Like, Jamonius is like, I combed through this, and yet you still found something where I'm just
See,
like,
I know that, like, you
damn
say
it.
that it leaves, like, a bad taste for people, but it's also, like,
Some people,
that
yes.
is how you find it,
yeah.
is you have people play the game.
Well, that's the thing. That's the difference between release this for playtesters and
Yeah.
release this to the public.
Yeah.
For playtesters, it's just like, well, this is why I'm here.
Yeah.
For the public, it's just like, did they playtest this or not? What the
Yeah.
shit?
And I think it's fine if it, like, is one thing and you're just like, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, like, for this one, if you do a specific thing every single time, it will glitch.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's when I'd be like, okay, did you guys test this?
Yeah, it's
You're
a
telling
huge
me that,
oversight.
like, nobody did that.
Like, if you have a mechanic and no matter how many times you try to implement it, it's not working how you envisioned,
Then you shouldn't use
you
that
have to
mechanic.
get rid of the mechanic.
Yeah.
You can't just be like,
Either
well...
learn how it functions to do it the way that you intend it to be, or get rid of it.
Yeah. Like, that is one thing I've learned. Like, if I can't do stealth in a game, I get rid of the stealth in that game. And I'm just like, we'll approach this later. That's
Yeah.
also why there's the approach of, like, play with mechanics in separate projects. Don't be like, oh, and now... Because it's called... I think it's called, like, content bloat. Mm-hmm. To where it's just like, oh, I want to add crafting, and I want to add an elaborate story and multiple endings. And it's just like, get the basis working first.
Yeah.
And then, like, maybe on the side, work on how would I do a crafting system.
Right.
Okay, cool. Now I can take this crafting system and plop it in my next 6 RPGs.
Right.
And tweak them gently, but I understand how the system works fundamentally. And
Well
that's
said.
that's more or less how I approach game design and seeking out a community and learning from others, because I'm constantly learning. I'm
Right.
constantly, like, watching tutorials or, like, someone's just watching how people work with the programs
Yeah.
to be like, that's
Whereas
a good
I
approach.
envy that. I envy that you can, like, look up how other people are doing it and utilizing certain things and implement it. Mm-hmm. I do that with writing all the time. I will look up so many different things and be like, okay, how do I create tension in a story? And I'm
There
like,
we
oh, I could
are.
totally do that. And then I just never implement it. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, no, I have 3 Pinterest boards on this shit.
Right.
I think for me, it's because I'm tactile. I should probably print those out and put them in a binder so that I would use it.
Yeah, but it's a very common trap, especially, like, I'll use RPG Maker as a quick example.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone who starts RPG Maker wants to make the next Final Fantasy, the next
Yeah.
50 to 60 hour RPG with multiple endings, multiple playable characters, extra Coliseum, optional
Right.
bosses, and all that, and you'll exhaust yourself. You honestly will, and it will affect the final product.
Right.
Whereas if you just start small and kind of like build it from there and realize, all right, beginning to end, what's my game? Like, what is the general point? And then you build on top of that, you'll get a lot more out of the program, I promise you.
Yeah.
Like, that's just how my approach has been, to where it's been more satisfactory. Instead of just thinking big and you got to do the next big thing. It's
Right.
like, you're just one person. Like, you're not on a team. You're not on, like, a big development studio where, like, everyone has something. You're doing everything yourself. That is
Right.
the crux of the indie game. So until you understand how all of this works, start small.
Okay.
And that's my TED Talk. And again, like, a lot
Welcome
of this
to this Ren
thoughts
Talk.
isn't 100% like my discovery. This
Yeah.
is things that have been proven with fellow RPG Maker communities.
Right.
It's just like, how did I get to this point? I started small. Like, I just set a goal, and I said, I want to do that for now.
Which is smart.
Because if all of that stuff wasn't a problem, there would be no such thing as content bloat. And there we go. In the next episode, we're going to do the excruciating stealth segment. See you then.
Doodles.